Alright, boys and girls, this is Miss C. In this slide, you are going to go ahead and pick which one is your favorite. Trolls, the movie Scoob, Croods 2, or Sonic. Take some time to go ahead and do that. You can pause the video. Alright, so we are on lesson 26 of our Wit and Wisdom Module 3. Here are some your learning expectations. Let's go ahead and go to our goal setting page. This is your goal setting page. Make sure you're writing the complete sentence. My goal is. And then writing what your specific goal is. Here is your question for the day, or for your questions for the day. Our big question is, how do people respond to the powerful force of the wind? Our medium-sized question is, how does William use the powerful force of the wind? And our small question is, what do I notice and wonder about the boy who harnessed the wind? Yes, today we are looking at a different book. Today it is called The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind. Before we start, let's go ahead and look back at our knowledge. Alright, so we are going to continue. We're going to look back at some of our knowledge that we've learned in this module. So, we're going to look back at what we learned about art in this module. And so, what words did we learn about in art? We learned the word color, and we learned the word collage. Color is like the colors of the rainbow, and a collage means putting like different pieces of paper or different things, putting them together, making like a bigger picture. So remember that complementary colors are colors that are opposite of one another on the color wheel. Orange and blue, green, red, and violet and yellow. So here we have these are our primary colors. Primary colors are just these three colors, red, yellow, and blue. And we're going to look at the color wheel now. So here we see the color red, yellow, and blue. Those are our three primary colors. But if you mix red and yellow, you get the color orange. If you mix yellow and blue, you get the color green. And if you mix blue and red, you get the color purple. So just making sure you know that the colors, the primary colors, the three primary colors, and then what they make when you mix them together. Alright, so today we are going to be looking at a new text. We're going to be looking at the text, The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind. And we're going to be noticing and wondering during this time. Before we do that, though, we're going to look at different types of primary colors in paintings. So paintings that we've already seen before, we're going to look at and see if we can find the primary colors. Remember, primary colors are the three, red, yellow, and blue. Alright, so let's look at these three paintings and see what we notice and what we wonder, or what we notice about the primary colors. So here, go ahead and circle what primary colors you see. You can also write the color, or you can circle it in the color that you see. Remember, the primary colors are red, yellow, and blue. So pause it, take some time to circle those. In this next one, go ahead and circle the primary colors that you see. And the last one, go ahead and circle the primary colors you see. Alright, now that we've seen the primary colors in the paintings, we will pay close attention to the illustrations in the new text we'll be reading, because you might see pictures of similar types of structures. So these other paintings that we just saw, they were all windmills. So you might see. This is a story called The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind. It's a true story about a boy named William Kamkamwa. And he wrote this story, and he also wrote it with Brian Miller. And the pictures were done by Elizabeth Zunon. So the story is called The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind. In a small village in Malawi, where people had no money for light, nightfall came quick and hurried poor farmers to bed. But for William, the darkness was the best for dreaming. He dreamt of building things and taking them apart, like the truck with the bottle cap wheels parked under his bed, and the piece of radios that he cracked open and wondered if he could hear the music. Then where is the band? His grandpa's tales of magic also whispered in the pitch black of his room. Witch planes passed through the windows while ghost dancers swirled around the room, as if hundreds of men were inside their bodies. At dawn in the field, William scanned the maze rows for magical beings, then wondered as a truck rumbled past, how does the engine make it go? Pay attention to where you're throwing that hoe, said his father. His father shouted, you'll cut off a foot! For all its power over dancers and flying things, magic could not bring the rain. Without water, the sun rose angrily each morning and scorched the fields, turning the maize into dust. Without food, Malawi began to starve. Soon William's father gathered the children and said, from now on, we eat only 1 meal per day. Make it last. In the evenings, they sat around the lantern and ate their handful, watching hungry people pass like spirits along the road. Money also disappeared with the rain. Papani, his father said, I'm sorry. You will have to drop out of school. Now William stood on the road and watched the lucky students pass, alone with the monster in his belly and the lump in his throat. For weeks he sulked under the mango tree, until he remembered the library down the road, a gift from the Americans. He found science books filled with brilliant pictures, with his English dictionary close by. William put together how engines move those big trucks, and how radios pull their music from the sky. But the greatest picture of all was a machine taller than the tallest tree, with blades like a fan, a giant pinwheel or something, to catch magic. Slowly he built the sentence, windmills can produce electricity and pump water. He closed his eyes and saw a windmill outside his home, pulling electricity from the breeze and bringing light to the dark valley. He saw the machine drawing cool water from the ground, sending it gushing through the thirsty fields, turning the maize tall and green, even when farmers' prayers for rain went unanswered. This windmill was more than a machine. It was a weapon to fight hunger. Majesty Amafepo, he whispered, I will build electric wind. In the junkyard, pieces appeared like rusted treasure in the tall grass. A tractor fan, some pipe, and a bearing and bolts that required every muscle to remove. Tonga! He shouted to the birds and spiders, holding up his prize. But as William dragged his metals home, people called out, This boy is Masala. Only crazy people play with trash. After many weeks, William arranged his pieces in the dirt. A broken bicycle, rusted bottle caps, and plastic pipes, even a small generator that powered a headlight on a bike. For 3 days he bolted and banged and tinkered while chickens squawked and dogs barked, and neighbors shook their heads saying, What's Masala doing now? His cousin Joffrey and best friend Gilbert soon appeared. Muli Bwanji, they greeted. Can we help with electric wind? Grab your pangas and follow me, he said, and took them to the forest. Together they swung their sharp blades into the trunk of a blue gum tree, then hammered them together to make the tower. Standing atop, William shouted, Bring it up! While the boys tugged and heaved, The crowd gathered below and gazed at the strange machine that now leaned and wobbled like a clumsy giraffe. Some giggled, others teased, but William waited for the wind. Like always it came, first a breeze, then a gentle gale. The tower swayed, and the blade spun around. With sore hands, once slowed by hunger and darkness, William connected wires to a small bulb, which flickered at first, then surged as bright as the sun. "Tonga!" he shouted. "I have made electric wind!" "Guachita bueno!" a man yelled. "Well done!" As the doubters clapped and cheered, William knew he had just begun. Light could not fill empty bellies, but another windmill could soak the dry ground, creating food where once there was none. Majesty mefefo, electric wind can feed my country, William thought. And that was the strongest magic of all. Alright, boys and girls, in this next slide, you are going to write what you noticed. I noticed. You can draw or you can also write it. Miss C has put this sentence down for you. I notice. Go ahead and pause it and write and draw your notice. Here it's your wonder, so you can use I wonder, and you can use these words over here. Who, what, when, where, how, why, and how. What did you wonder about the story? You can draw or you could also write it. So what do you wonder? Pause it and go ahead and unpause when you are done. Now you are going to be word detectives. You are going to try to figure out the meaning of an unknown word. This unknown word comes to us from the book. Here is page 7 from our story. It says, "Without water, the sun rose angry each morning and scorched the fields, turning the maize into dust." The word is scorched. Missy has put the important words, or the words that she thought were important, and she made them a little bit bigger. Those words are sun, angry, and dust. So think about it. The sun is something that is what? And if it turns everything into dust, in here, your exit ticket, you are going to draw what you think the word scorched means. Using the word sun, angry, and dust. What does the word scorch mean? Is it A, burn, or B, flies? Go ahead and circle your correct answer. When you are done, this is the end of our class, so you may exit out. And we will see you tomorrow. Thank you, guys. Go ahead and rewatch the video if you'd like to listen to the story one more time. Thank you. Bye. If you have any questions, you can also reach out to Miss C. Send a message and Miss C will try to help you the best way that I can. Bye, guys.